The release of Star Citizen Alpha 4.2.1 has brought with it a brand new dynamic event, Race for Stanton. This large-scale competition pits players against one another as they try to gather resources on the behalf of the major corporations of the Stanton system. Whether through holing, mining, or combat support, players are invited to contribute to the supply chains of Hearthstone Dynamics, Arc or Crusader Industries, or Microtech, with rewards promised to those who make the greatest impact. But while the concept is ambitious and theoretically engaging, the execution, like many elements in Star Citizen's recent build, has been marred by a number of critical issues that significantly undermine the experience. One of the most common frustration voiced by the community revolves around the cargo elevators, of course, which play a central role in the delivery loop for hauling missions. Those elevators are meant to facilitate the transfer of mission-critical resources into the hands of the corporations. However, they frequently malfunction, crates often fail to transfer, become stuck mid-process, or in some cases vanish entirely. Compounding the problem are issues with mission objectives themselves. Several players have reported that combat and retrieval missions either fail to appear in their journal or lack proper HUD markers. Target occasionally refuse to spawn, forcing participants to abandon their objectives and try later. There are also indications that some missions are server limited, meaning that only a small number of players per shard can access them at a time. Still, now I'm talking especially about the combat missions, well, not necessarily they are combat missions, and also the escort missions. This creates a situation where many are left aimlessly waiting for content to become available, which is very frustrating here because this should be dynamic and competitive, and instead it's just a waiting game because we're just waiting for those missions to pop up and they never do. In addition, the event has of course drawn the unwanted attention from griefers who congregate around high traffic zones such as cargo terminals and refinery outposts. One of the worst griefing attitude here is when players just linger on the elevators and are just blocking the way for everybody because they just can't do anything, or they just put some items there and like it can be just a simple bottle of water and then the whole elevator is blocked and everybody is stuck. This is extremely annoying and I can't believe that CIG has not found a way to stop the issue right now. Anyway, to explore an alternative approach here, I think that perhaps mining might offer a more reliable and rewarding path through the sandbox mechanics. Since Race for Stanton allows for contributions through resource collection, I deployed a Drake Golem mining vessel inside a C2 Hercules along with a supply of 16 SC ore bags. The plan is to rotate the Golem's output by unloading field ore bags and swapping them with fresh ones. And to do that, I headed to Clio here, which is a place which is known for its rich deposits of corundum, which is one of the primary resources requested by the corporations during the event. In addition to corundum, Clio also provided healthy quantities of gold and terranites, which I also intend to sell separately at a TDD for added profit. At first, the experience showed promise. All the rocks encountered were fully scannable, which marks a definite improvement here over previous build where invisible or unmarked nodes were commonplace. However, issues soon emerged because several valuable rock formations were located too deep beneath the surface or embedded within non-mineable terrain, making them inaccessible despite being valid scat target. More critically here, the ore bags, once transferred to the C2, became stuck on the cargo grid and could no longer be moved or interacted with. This not only jeopardized the entire mining run, but also wasted my time and effort, which turned what should have been a legitimate strategy into a liability. Despite these setbacks, not all aspects of the event should be dismissed, in particular CIG's recent improvements to the refining gameplay, which deserves recognition in my opinion. Before, refining used to require up to 2 weeks of real-time waiting. The new system has dramatically shortened turnaround times to manageable levels, as you can see in the footage there. Moreover, updated pricing has made the refining process more financially attractive, providing meaningful incentives for miners and industrial players to participate in the event economy. In the end, while mining offers a more engaging and flexible alternative to traditional hauling, it's still far from a guaranteed solution. The ability to gather event resources organically through the sandbox is a strong concept, and the improvements to scanning and refining are genuinely welcome. However, unfortunately, persistent bugs such as inaccessible ore nodes or 16 SU bags becoming stuck continue to undermine what should be a reliable gameplay loop. For players willing to accept a certain level of risk, mining during the race for Stanton can be rewarding, but it remains a strategy that requires patience, caution, and as I said, a fair bit of luck, which is not something that we should be relying on when it comes to the reliability of the game, especially during the so-called year of playability. Anyway, guys, are you participating in the event or did you give up perhaps? How far have you gone? Do you have any other strategies? Perhaps did you try a bounty hunting mission? Do they spawn some of the required resources? That should be something that we could be trying for a future video. Anyway, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content. I will see you guys in the next one. Have a great day. Cheers.